All right, let's talk about something fascinating that's happening all across India. Airports are being completely transformed, going from just places you pass through to these incredible destinations all on their own. Let's get into it.
I mean, seriously, think about it. When you hear the word airport, what's the first thing that pops into your head? Probably long lines, sterile hallways, maybe some overpriced coffee. It's a place you have to endure to get to where you actually want to go, right?
But what if that whole idea is being flipped on its head? In India, a new wave of airports is completely challenging that old, boring perception. They're being reimagined as the real beginning of your trip, a grand welcome that introduces you to the culture and beauty of the region before you even leave the terminal. So, for the last couple of decades, India's airports have been going through this massive change. We're talking about a shift that goes way beyond just building a functional terminal.
And this is the real heart of it all. These new airports are designed to be cultural ambassadors. They're built to show off the unique identity of their city, mixing cutting-edge modern design with local traditions and even the natural landscape itself.
Okay, so let's start with our first big idea. I want you to picture this. You walk into an airport, but instead of feeling like a generic travel hub, it feels like you've just stepped into a world-class art gallery.
People use this exact phrase all the time to describe one place in particular, Mumbai's Chhatrapati Shivaji Maharaj International Airport. And believe me, it is not an exaggeration.
I mean, just get this. The building itself is a work of art, with this incredible roof inspired by a lotus flower. But inside, Terminal 2 is actually home to the Jaya Hay Museum. We're talking thousands of artifacts and massive art installations. You are literally walking through a curated art museum on your way to your gate. It totally changes what you think an airport can be.
And Mumbai isn't the only one doing this. If you head over to the capital, Delhi's Terminal 3 weaves art right into its modern design. As you walk through these huge, open spaces, you'll see these giant, symbolic mudras, the intricate hand gestures from classical Indian dance that signify things like welcome and protection. It's a beautiful touch of heritage inside this super sleek, modern building.
Okay, so we've seen art. Now let's switch gears to a totally different theme, nature. Forget the museum. Now I want you to imagine an airport that feels less like a building and more like a lush, green paradise.
This is the concept that drove the design of Terminal 2 at Bengaluru's Kempegowda International Airport. And a terminal in a garden isn't just a catchy marketing slogan, it's the philosophy behind every single part of that building.
And the difference is just night and day. Think about a normal airport. It's an enclosed box of concrete and steel, right? Well, Bangaluru's T2 is the exact opposite. It's got these open, airy courtyards. It's built with engineered bamboo, and there are hanging gardens and even waterfalls inside. It's all designed to connect you with nature, which makes perfect sense for a city known as the Garden City.
There's actually a name for this approach. It's called biophilic design. It sounds a little technical, but the idea is simple. It's about designing buildings in a way that brings nature inside to make us feel better. And honestly, Bengaluru's airport is one of the biggest and most amazing examples of this anywhere in the world.
Sticking with this whole green innovation theme, let's look at this number. First, what in the world could this be referring to?
Well, Kochi International Airport in Kerala was the world's first airport to become fully powered by solar energy. Just think about that, an incredible step for sustainability. But it's not just that. The airport itself is beautiful, with a design that echoes Kerala's traditional architecture, all set against this backdrop of a super lush green landscape. It's this perfect blend of tech, culture, and nature.
All right, our final theme is a bit different. We're talking about airports where the architecture, as cool as it might be, kind of has to take a back seat to the absolutely breathtaking natural world that surrounds it.
This might just be the most dramatic arrival on the entire planet. Landing at Leh's airport in Ladakh is an experience you will never forget. As the plane descends, you are just completely enveloped by these majestic, snow-capped Himalayan peaks. The terminal building itself is pretty simple, but who cares? The view is absolutely everything.
And there are other places like this too. When you fly into Port Blair in the Andaman Islands, your first sight is this incredible turquoise water and thick tropical forest. In places like these, the airport isn't trying to create an atmosphere. It's just a window to the spectacular one that's already there.
So when you put all of this together, what does it all mean? Well, it signals that we're in a completely new era of travel, where the very start of the journey can be just as memorable as the destination.
When you break it down, you can see how each of these major airports is building its own special identity. In Mumbai, you get a museum. In Bengaluru, you get a garden. And in Leh, you get a direct connection to this unbelievable landscape. Every single one tells a different story.
And this isn't just limited to a few big cities. This is happening all over the country. Jaipur's airport reflects the beautiful architectural styles of Rajasthan. The new airport in Goa is designed to capture the vibrant, beachy culture of the state. The list just keeps growing.
And that right there is the crucial point. These incredible places aren't just functional buildings anymore. They are the very first chapter of the Indian story for every single person who lands there. They set the tone for the entire adventure. Which leaves us with one final question to think about. If an airport itself can be a destination, something worth seeing, how is that going to change what we expect from travel in the future? What will we start to demand from all the gateways to our world? Thanks for joining me.